Hello, my sweet and precious children. We are going to be talking today about the coordinate system. This is the Cartesian coordinate plane. It's graphing. We're going to be talking about graphing. Okay, I'm going to write a bunch of stuff down. You're going to need to write it down as well, because these are going to be some vocabulary words. Vocabulary words. All right, first things first. This is the Cartesian coordinate plane. This is what it looks like, okay? Positive direction goes this way. I remember it because I happen to be right-handed. Most people are, so it's a little easy to remember. It's in the direction that you write, right? Just like a number line. And then down is negative, up is positive, right? So with all that said, I'm using this giant graph paper with giant grids because it shows up a little bit better on the camera. However, with that said, I think I need to boost this guy up a little bit more, so I'm going to do that while I'm talking. There's some important vocabulary words regarding all of these guys. The first is that this Cartesian coordinate plane, you can just call it the coordinate plane, is made up of two axes. Two axes. This is going to be your x-axis. Your x goes over, your y-axis goes up and down. So over x, up y. Now, just like a map at home, like if you needed to map something, let me see if I can get this. Maybe that is a little bit better. It's really reflective. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, so if you needed to tell somebody where you lived on a map, right, you'd say you'd go left. Well, you use Google. But if you were an old like me and you didn't have Google like before, in the before times, you would have to tell them, okay, so you go left here and right here, and you make it, and then go 3 stop signs over, right? So the Cartesian coordinate plane, it's basically giving directions, but the way that we give directions is in the form of ordered pairs. And so write that down, ordered pairs. That's your first vocab lesson. An ordered pair, That's like this, x, y, okay? X, y, axes on the coordinate plane. You're gonna draw it like this. This is x, this is y. Make sure you've got that in your notes, okay? So the way that this works is our coordinate plane is actually broken up into 4 coordinates, or 4 quadrants, quadrants meaning 4, right? I could never remember which order they go in, so the way that I tell kids to remember this is by, let me do this here, maybe that'll help, is to draw a C. And the way you draw a C is like this, bam, there's your C, right? The way that that works is your first quadrant is where you started your C. This is your next one. Notice I'm writing these in Roman numerals. That's important when you're identifying your quadrants, okay? So those are your various quadrants. Now, if a point falls on one of these axes like this, it is not in any coordinate, or it's not in any quadrant, I should say. If a point falls on an axis, then it is not in any quadrants. Okay, just keep that in mind. The other thing that you need to know about this for vocab words is the origin, and the origin is 0, 0. It's the very center of our graph. Write that down. Origin is 0, 0. So on this particular graph, it is right here. That's your origin. Okay, maybe write a little thing, origin, beautiful. So the way that this works is you're given a set of ordered pairs and you have to graph it, right? So let's talk about our first one. Let's say our first set of ordered pairs was 3, 2. Guys, you need graph paper for when we start graphing. So if you don't have it, let me know. I'm happy to supply some, but you can get it over at like Fred Meyer in the school supply section with all the other lined paper. There's graph paper usually there. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is helpful, not just for graphing, but if you're doing like lined or things that need to be lined up, like decimals, putting decimals in order, or adding or subtracting fractions, that kind of thing. It can be really helpful to have things nice and lined up, okay? So I'm gonna fix this too. different colored light. I think it looks better. Better or worse, I can't decide. So let's say 3, 2. This means this is our x, because we're in our ordered pairs. Our x comes first, and then that's our y. So we go over 3. We always start at our origin. We go over 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going up 2 because it's positive. Up 2. Bam. That's where that point belongs. Okay, so if you're given... So let's look at some of these examples that are in here. 4 points I'm graphed on this rectangular quadrant. What are the x and y coordinates of this? All right, guys, so you don't have to graph all these guys out, but you will have to graph quite a bit. So just keep that in mind. This is A. B is... This is straight out of the book, but I just want to make sure that you guys have this down. Okay, and then D is this guy right here. All right, guys, take a minute and see if you can't figure out what the coordinates of these guys are. While I sit here and mess with my bangs. They're long. I need to get them trimmed. Okay, so take a minute, figure those out. Pause it if you need to, and then come on back. All right, guys. So again, we always do our x, y first. So we're going to go start from the origin. I'm going to do A first. We go over 3, and then we go up 4. So the coordinates would be 3, 4. This, for B, we go over -4, up 2. -4, 2. For C, we go over -2, and then down -5. For D, we go over 3, down -2. Excellent. Good. I think what I would like you guys to do... Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good example. So with this said, we're going to do example number 4. You will need to draw out a graph to take these notes. I'm going to do it on this one, but you need to draw out a graph as well. The vertices of a rectangle are -2, 3. So let's do this. Over -2, down 3. 4, 2. Over 4, up 2. 4, -3, which goes right here. Over 4, down -3. And then -2, 2. So over -2, up 2. So here are the 4 vertices of our rectangle. In the example on page 125, it's now asking you to find the perimeter and the area. Just a reminder, if you don't already have it written down in your notes, perimeter. Oh, add up all the sides. Area. Length times width. This is for rectangles, right? Length times width. So make sure that you have that written in your notes somewhere. So find the perimeter of this guy. What we would do is count up all these squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, which means this is 6, right? This side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be 5 on this side. 5 on this side. This is example number, we'll call it just example 2. Oh, no, it's 4. Sorry. Example number 4. Okay, so what that means for the perimeter is perimeter equals 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 5. Perimeter equals 6 plus 6 is 12. 5 plus 5 is 10. So 12 and 10 is 22. What are our units? It doesn't say, so you just say units. Okay, 22 units instead of like inches or centimeters or whatever. Area, on the other hand, says length 6. Area equals length times width. So the area is going to be 6 times 5. That means the area equals 30 units squared. 30 units squared. All right, guys, what I want you to do is on page 125, go ahead and halfway down the page, it's A through D for those. Make one sketch of a coordinate plane on your, if you have graph paper. If you don't, you can just do it without graph paper. That's fine. You just have to ballpark where they go. And you're going to graph these points. Let me write these guys down. You have, so pause the video or do it while I'm sitting here talking, apparently. But for those of you who don't have the book at home, that way you can see what this is. And guys, this needs to be at the top of your homework when I come around to check it. So you're going to graph those points. All right, come on back and we can do that. So first one is -4, -3. We're going to go right there. That's A. Next one is -4, 2. That's B. Next one is 3, -2. That's C. And then the other one is 3, 5. That's D. Perfect. All right, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in class, and I look forward to checking off your homework to make sure you're doing great. And otherwise, if you're not in my class, just leave me questions below, and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you, guys.